David Verman with Shrewsbury Town reporter Lewis Cox after Shrewsbury Town won. Who were they playing? I've forgotten. Doncaster 0. Doncaster 0.
So much excitement with the win.
So much excited. I'm so relieved. I mean, a clean sheet as well. I mean, that's exactly what the doctor ordered, isn't it?
Yeah, certainly is. It's been a long time coming, this win and clean sheet. 64 days exactly since the last time Town had both in the league.
64 days. Either. You know the minutes as well.
In the no, days will do. Okay. Since they've had a win or a clean sheet in the league back at Blackpool just before Christmas. Absolutely massive. Look, 10 games it was in the league. Obviously the FA Cup run happened and it was a great thing. Came to a sad end, but the league form has been extremely troubling, extremely worrying. Undoubted pressure circling, certainly from supporters, and they've managed to relieve that today and ease it with a massive win here, 1-0. Dave Edwards, hometown hero, late on. Huge, yeah. I mean, Doncaster pushed late on and had good chances, to be honest. Probably edged it on the balance of chances, but I think Town probably just edged the game.
I don't think Doncaster had any half chances. They either had nothing or they had really good chances where they smacked the post or O'Leary had to make a massive save. But I mean, you mentioned Dave Edwards. I mean, it was going to be no one else that's going to drag them by the collar out of this. And I think, that's the first good team goal Shrewsbury scored in a long time. I mean, they've either scored screamers or they've not done anything, haven't they?
That's a fair point. Yeah, I mean. You mentioned now, obviously, Dave Skipper with Ollie Norben out for the season, sadly, and ironically, his first league goal for Town since returning 13 months ago. That's been a long time coming. He scored. I think it's his fourth for the season. He's netted in the the Checker Trade Trophy then, but I'll be on brand, the leasing.com this season, and the FA Cup. But this is his first league goal, and it was massive. I mean, no better time for him to score it. Absolutely monumental goal, really, in terms of importance. Yes, 0-0, which it would have been. It isn't a defeat, but obviously extends that winless run and the same old problems in not scoring. Obviously, second lowest scorers in the league. So yeah, massive goal. So pleased for him. But as I'm sure we'll get on to, he might have stepped up to the plate in front of goal, but looks like we might not see him on the pitch for a little while. So, some sour notes from today, but massive positives overall.
Yeah, let's talk about the injury then. Is that what Rickett said after the match?
Yeah, well,
he's gone to hospital, hasn't he?
He came off with 7 or 8 minutes to go as a sub, and apparently he's sort of turned his ankle over on the far side, and it's swollen up. Apparently he's gone to hospital, so not good news at all.
That indicates
really.
A fracture or a break that's swollen, doesn't it?
It doesn't sound good, does it? Yeah, it doesn't sound good. I mean, that sounds like, I was going to say weeks, but it sounds like it could be months, and that's an awful shame. He's played a lot of football. A lot more than he probably should have. I think Rickett said 5 games in 15 days, which is ridiculous, to be honest, for a 34-year-old. But no other options in central midfield, really, or very few. So, but he's absolutely delivered today, and you saw how much it meant to him, to fans, to the staff after the goal. Massive moment. Just a terrible shame about his injury, and Ricketts is pleading poverty really on the injury front. Conor McAlhaney,
which is fair enough.
Yeah, Conor McAlhaney has been really good since coming in on loan in January. Had a quieter day today, still tested the keeper. He limped off with a hamstring, and that adds to Sean Worley, who's a big miss, of course, not being ready to return yet from his hamstring injury. He won't face Tranmere on Tuesday night. So, with Norben out as well and some other long-term ones. Yeah, it's certainly short up top, but I think with Lang, Callum Lang, who was excellent today, who got the assist, Udo and Jason Cummings, who had to come from the bench today, probably got enough to scrape through against Tranmere on Tuesday, but it's looking light. Probably got enough for a bench, but beyond that, Ricketts is telling everyone to bring their boots. Might get a game.
Well, before he twisted his ankle, he put it to good use, running down here, celebrating with Ricketts. All the players ran up, hugged Ricketts. I mean, that's a statement from the players. I mean,
definitely.
That's not just because they like his personality, but they know Ricketts has got some pressure on him.
Yeah.
And they clearly believe in his ideas. I mean, no matter what the fans think, I mean, it seems to be getting through to the players. And that's what you want, isn't it?
Yeah, the players are united behind him, certainly. I mean, I suppose you could almost understand if they weren't, given the tough run of results, but it's certainly not the case, and Ricketts has always maintained that, and he said again today, and he said in recent weeks when it hasn't gone well, he said he understands the reasons behind the winless run. Certainly he's pointed a lot to how much physically and mentally the FA Cup run and replays took it out of his side, which I'm sure they did. It's no secret that it's easy to get up for Liverpool here and not some league games, which shouldn't be the case, but is. Obviously, Town didn't really get up and deliver at Anfield, did they? But so but certainly on the United front. And then another point on that, you mentioned the goal celebrations, but here at full time in front of the South Stand, Safe standing up there just behind us, giving it the whole Klopp fist bump thing, which fans responded to, and in his quotes after mentioning he's had messages of supports and cards from fans in the week, they all suggest quite a united front.
Yeah, because the fan video that I did, I mean, if you've watched it, it's quite negative towards Ricketts. But maybe, I know, I just came across the wrong fans and we're just talking about the vocal minority who are against Ricketts, but he's got support then, hasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, look at it only takes a quick look at social media and the forums probably to say, see a lot of negativity, which, of course you'd expect given the run. But it's never an accurate gauge, is it, online, of how the whole entire fan base thinks. And yes, in the last home game here against Accrington on the Tuesday night where they lost, it got toxic in here. But, and we were sort of worried if today had gone wrong, Doncaster scored early, that could have happened again. But actually, I don't think it's supporters being fickle, although I think as two football fans ourselves, we'd say all football fans are fickle. I think the celebration certainly showed, as you say, a statement of unity behind the manager, and but there's no hiding that it was a massive win because of the pressure growing, and there were they had a free midweek this week, which they hadn't had for a while, so time to recover and prepare. It would have been extremely worrying had they come through today and certainly Tuesday night against a struggling Tranmere without that monkey off their back and still on the winless run, which would have gone to a dozen. So yeah, massive 3 points, and hopefully just a catalyst of some consistent positive sort of results.
What do you make of the changes that you made to the system today? And Shrewsbury aren't a team that create a lot of chances, and I thought he did well to overcome that. They were pressing high at the pitch. The amount of times they won the ball in Doncaster's half was, I've lost count. And they grafted a lot of good chances out of that.
Yeah, massive talking point before the game. One was personnel in terms of Josh Vella, midfielder, being given his debut, signed last month, but been forced to sit out. And the other one was, of course, a back four. I think we eventually came to a conclusion it was a bit of a 4-2-3-1. That's what it looked like. I'm not sure that's what I heard it was maybe meant to be. I don't know, but four at the back. First time it's been used this season.
I think it was 4-2-3-1. Josh Lauren at times was playing alongside Udo.
Yeah. And obviously Lang one side and McElhaney the other, having to work back, which they happily did, certainly Lang. But first time it's been four at the back this season from the start. Ricketts used it at times after he came in midway through last season, but certainly in the summer it was very much three centre halves, wing back option, and Ricketts spoke to me a lot about that after the game, actually, which will be available on Shropshire Star this week, online in the paper. I mean, he said that basically they used the entire 3 week to work on that, to work on this new system, and thankfully a lot of fans have been calling out for another plan, haven't they, a plan B, because I think losing Ryan Giles as a wing back option, losing that an attacking wing back, certainly stunted them. I think as well as Goulbourn's played, I think him and Love sort of. It's not a role for them, is it? It's not real attacking options. So to go into the back four, young Kane Ramsey played at right back, and Beckles did well at left back. Yes, caught out a couple of times out wide, but generally I thought the back four was good, and certainly you're right with the pressing, which I think they've always tried to press high Town, but it looked to have sort of lagged off in recent weeks, maybe confidence and tiredness. But after the week they looked refreshed and sort of reinvigorated to really press today. And how many times, like you mentioned, they caught Doncaster, whether it was Lang, Udo, Edwards, those Vela, really worked today. And I hope we see the new system Tuesday, to be honest. I hope the back four stays for a while, because they've used it today and it's worked, and why change it, basically?
Yeah, I mean, it's not easy to just switch systems halfway through a season.
No.
I'm sure he's had more than a week to do it. I mean, they've changed the back four at times
during games,
quite a few times. But like you say, I mean, that's exactly how they're going to want to play against Tranmere coming up. It's a huge game, isn't it? I mean, if they win it, you'd think they'll probably be safe, certainly safe from relegation. Wouldn't you?
I think, the gap to Tranmere and the final relegation spot was 12 points today. I think that's Tranmere have lost today, so that will have increased. And obviously, it's not going to take the magical 50 points it usually takes, because there's one less relegation place with Bury's sad plight. But everyone wants to end the season positively, don't they? Not just limp over the line, and that's why there was so much worry about this run. And if they can obviously Tranmere, who are desperately low on form and confidence coming Tuesday, and then a trip to Bristol Rovers, who aren't faring too much better at all. They're winnable games. There's no sugarcoating. They're winnable games, and if Town are, a big ask to win both of those, so you got 3 wins on the bounce. But how the table will look differently if they do, and I think there's still a game in hand. So, if hopefully they've found a system today that suits what they've got. Yes, the injuries have dampened today, but hopefully they've sort of come across this system, and the personnel look good and refreshed, and hopefully they can just find some sort of consistency and move closer to that mid-table point that they were threatening just before Christmas, just before it sort of unravelled. And a lot of positives to take. Hopefully we're sort of out of the rut, because it was becoming desperately concerning, really, and you did worry with the games coming up. You worried about the prospect of Fajiri Okunabiri for Doncaster today, obviously suspended in the end. But Doncaster, they troubled Town. They created things. O'Leary, brilliant and crucial at times. Yes, his kicking frustrates a few, doesn't it? Obviously, but superb saves, and more required on Tuesday. It won't be easy, just because they're poor by all accounts and really struggling. Town are almost bare bones. But I hope that we're sort of over the hill and into better times.
Shrewsbury Town 1, Doncaster 0. For all the post-match reaction, go to shropshirestars.com.
That's crazy that you haven't.